So the temperature's cooled off today quite a bit. Of course, it's cooled off, I guess, all around the country, but I think we're going to get hot again, but at least it's cooled off. So, of course, that means I don't have any work. The only time you get work is when it's really miserably hot. That's all right. I'll take the day off, kind of enjoy. Last night, well, I told you yesterday that the guy who cuts grass around here, his brother is helping him now. His brother brought that lawnmower over under a warranty. He said the carburetor was leaking. Well, it wasn't the carburetor was leaking. I've done it to the beast. What happens if you run a Kohler engine up? Well, I suppose a Briggs can do it too. I've just never seen it with a Briggs. But a Kohler engine, if you run it up on a steep hill like a ditch or something, the float will fall down and get stuck. I just did it the other day on the beast, trying to cut that ditch, and I had to take the carburetor off, and I didn't even take it apart. I just shook it until that float started bouncing around back inside, and it's ran fine ever since. So he brought it over, and gas is just flooding out of the air filter area. So we tried to start it right there on this trailer, and we got it started, and gas got all sucked up. Brought it down here, ran fine, everything's running fine. So he has decided that that's what happened. He ran up on a hill and it must have got stuck, and bring it over here, it unstuck itself. But that being said, while it was still in the trailer, I said, if there's a gas leak and you're going to make me warranty it, we're just going to replace the carburetor. I'll warranty the labor, but you got to buy the part. I said, the last time you guys asked me to go cheap, so I cleaned the carburetor, but you're going to have to get the carburetor. He said, okay, yeah. So get a carburetor. So what he said is, well, since it's running, I'm going to take it with me, and we're going to cut grass today, so tomorrow. So, and then when you get the carburetor, let me know. I'll bring the mower back over and we'll put it on. I said, okay, that's fine. Well, Amazon's been amazing here on a lot of parts here lately. They're doing one-day turnarounds. I ordered that probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock, and it was here this morning. I got it. So I messaged him. He says, yeah, I'll bring it over sometime. So he had me order it, and now he's not going to bring it over. It's running, so why do it? But he wanted me to guarantee it. So I may have just bought a carburetor. I could return it, but I don't think I'm going to. It's a Kohler carburetor. It's pretty common. So, that crew has 3 of them that carburetor would fit on. But Carolyn told me that we're not going to do commercial lawnmowers anymore. We're losing money on it, just left and right. They don't want to pay anything, and they want you to warranty everything. The problem is when you tell someone, okay, a 30-day warranty on something, they may, assuming they cut the grass twice a week, which would be a lot, run it eight times a month. But most people run it once a week. Some run it every other week. So we're talking 2 to 4 times a month. That's what a warranty should last. You run it a few times and it does fine. So he takes that lawnmower. This is a very good example. He takes that lawnmower and he runs it on 4 lawns in one day. Brings it back and says transmission's not working. Well, they wanted me to warranty that, although I did nothing to the transmission. All I did was service it and clean the carburetor. They wanted me to warranty the transmission. So we got a belt. They paid for the belt, but they didn't pay for the labor. Well, the carburetor, same thing happened. He said that when he picked it up after they got the belt put on, he picked it up, he cut his grass, and they've been cutting grass all day with it. It was running fine. How many lawns is that? 6, 10? And all of a sudden now it's not working. So again, you warranty something for a month, and that's what I tell everybody. It's a month warranty with these aftermarket products. But they are running a month's worth of work in one day, and they want me to warranty it. So Carolyn said, we can't do this. We're going to lose our tails doing commercial, especially on folks like him that are using residential lawnmowers for commercial use. The engine on that lawnmower is a commercial engine. It's a Kohler 7000. But the lawnmower itself is residential. You can't add transmission fluid to it. The belts and pulleys are not commercial. So if you wanted to change the transmission fluid on that, you got to drop both the transmissions off those zero turns. The Beast, we've changed the transmission fluid on this. All you do is take off one wheel, open a drain plug, all that oil drains out. There's a tube up here on top you stick a funnel into, and you got to put that drain tube back in, or drain plug back in, and you fill it up. There's a filter, and it looks like a regular oil filter. So this is more commercial than theirs. It's got a Kohler engine, it's 50-inch. I think theirs is 54. I mean, this is a commercial lawnmower here. This is garden tractor, but you get the idea. It could be used for commercial use, and I keep trying to tell them this, and they disagree. They're like, they're zero turns, but it's just not. They're just not capable. So, again, I've said it 3 times now, or 2 times at least. We're losing our tails on it. We cannot guarantee a 30-day warranty with these guys when they're doing 30 days of work in one day on a residential lawnmower. I told them on the flywheel, we replaced the flywheel because the magnets inside broke off. What happens when you run your lawnmower, it's designed to run, a couple hours, an hour or so to cut your grass, and then you shut it off and you don't touch it again for a week, so it has plenty of time to cool down. Well, the flywheel, which holds the fan also, typically does not get hot in an hour or 2. I mean, it might get a little warm, but it doesn't get hot. The rest of the engine will get to 212 degrees or something, but the flywheel stays pretty cool. But if you run it all day on a residential lawnmower, that flywheel will start to get radiant heat built up into it, and the glue that holds those magnets onto the flywheel disintegrates. So I replaced the flywheel back in the spring, and I told him you can't be running it all day. That will happen. So it's just a matter of time before that flywheel breaks again. He's going to replace it, and that's a $300 part. Of course, the month is over with, but I can guarantee you he's going to say, you replace that. I can almost bet you that next year he'll come in and say, hey, that belt you changed, it needs changed again. That's under warranty, right? I mean, I can almost bet it. So we're just going to stick with residential. And I feel like I should be doing something. I should be working. That's important. But if I'm losing money, it's better to just sit here and not do anything, I guess, than lose money. So they're not going to be happy. The thing is the brother came over yesterday and said the owner of the company knows what he did to upset you. And so what he did, I've told you this in previous videos, is the brother brought the lawnmower over. I told him, 10 days to figure out what's going on with the transmission. I tell everybody 10 days. And he said, and I said, then, of course, I didn't get paid my labor on the last 2 jobs you guys asked me to do. And he says, take your time, take your 10 days, and make sure you charge me everything you're supposed to charge. Okay, so as he's leaving, he turns around and says it again. Take your time, take all the time you need, and charge me everything you need to be charged. Great. Well, the brother messaged me, and 2 days later. And remember, they brought it over in the evening, so it wasn't even 2 days, it was like a day and a half, a day and 3/4. Is that more done yet? No, I'm still testing. Well, at that time, I hadn't gotten the belt. So, the next day I put the belt on. That's on a Saturday. I'm supposed to take Sundays off. Carolyn really wants me to take Sundays off. So, I put it on Saturday, and I run it up and down the hill because I want to heat that belt up. And I get it good and hot, hot that it's hotter in my hand. So, then I let it cool off, and then I rode it up and down the hill again just to make sure everything was working. And I set it overnight, and I was going to do that again Monday. So that was on Saturday, and I was going to, just take Sunday off. Well, he messages me Sunday and says, now we're going to pick those mowers up. And I said, well, I still haven't tested it. Well, you tested it enough. That's enough. We're just going to take it. So now he wants me to warranty things that he's not even allowing me to make sure is fixed. So so I said, okay, well, I just can't do this anymore. I mean, you guys are expecting way too much from me. So, like I said, the brother comes over yesterday and says, I know, I know he's upset. He knows why you're upset, but he's never going to admit it and he's never going to apologize. I mean, well, okay, well, I don't need an apology. You just know that I can't keep working on your stuff. So I'm going to fix this carburetor because you say it's a warranty issue. That's fine. I don't agree. I mean, I think you asked me to clean it instead of replacing it. So here we are again. And I know that, there's going to be subscribers says, you make videos and do all this and do that. And I try. I've sent videos to my customers all the time. But when he literally is saying, well, I'll risk that you take me to court over this. Of course, I'm not going to go out that kind of cost. So hopefully he won't expect warranty items next year, because that's just going to be a fight. You replaced that belt last year and it's already bad, so you're going to have to replace it again this year for free. So if he doesn't do that, and I don't have to get in that kind of fight, which I will get into a fight over that. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to take any more of his stuff. And then right after he brought his mower over and we got that result. No, at the same time. They were both parked over there at the same time. We got a Craftsman in here. And so it was just a riding mower, no big deal. And he said that it kept dying after about half hour to an hour and it couldn't restart. It cooled down and it would start again. So I told him before he brought it over, you might want to loosen the gas cap, see if that's why it's dying on you. If you're getting suction, a vacuum in that gas tank, then you may not be getting fuel into it. So he brings it over, and the first thing is the gas is just horrible. I mean, it's terrible looking. So I sent him a picture and say, you need to change out your gas in your gas can, because that's bad gas. Well, and so he says, so the mower's ready. And I said, no, I haven't got the gas drained out of it yet. It's still draining, and I still wanted to run some more tests. I guess he didn't understand what I said, so he comes over, and I get the gas drained. I put a new gas filter on it, put a shutoff valve on it, and he says, well, how much do I owe you? I said, well, I don't know if this is fixed. It still could be the ignition coil. So I tell him how much I would charge just for what I'd done, and so he says, well, I gotta go to the ATM and get some cash. So I start running it around up here to see if it was fixed. So he goes in and gets cash. I bring it back down here and I just leave it running, and it dies. About 15 minutes. So when he shows back up, I show him that I tell him it has died, and I'm still trying to get the spark plug tester in it to see if the ignition coil is bad. And sure enough, it was bad. So he was sitting here while I was getting the gas drained out and getting the fuel filter changed. But he wanted that mower last night. But anyway, he came and picked it up this morning. Again, Amazon's been pretty amazing sending parts out. Got here at 9:30, had it on by 10. By 10:30, I had it tested. 10:40 or so, I had it tested. Ran it a good, 40 minutes. Started, shut it off. It started up every time. So I think we resolved the issue on that. But we live in this kind of a vacation area, second home area. People buy second homes out here, and so these folks, they got a lot of money, and so they go home every weekday, and they come on over the weekends, and they want their grass cut on the weekends. Of course, yesterday wasn't a weekend, it was a weekday. But he needed that mower running. Oh well, I got it running as fast as I could. Less than 24 hours, I figure that's pretty good. So, well, I guess I'm going to jump off of here. It's trying to sprinkle, I feel like. So, if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video on my other channel. I really appreciate it. Go check it out. So, hope I can inspire you to think about it so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.